The vault is open. I'm Onesimus Prime and I'm reporting on Studio Series Transformers the movie Scrapper, Decepticon and leader of the Constructicons. So let's bring him out. Let's take a look at this new Studio Series box presentation done by Yellow Fly, a Boston-based illustration studio where their artists work digital brushstroke by digital brushstroke to nail this dramatic splash angle that I find awesome. Take a look at that. The flow is seamless. On the back you'll find a mini poster from the film and images of the action figure itself. Scan the QR code to check out their social media post about it while I give a closer look at the rendering of Scrapper in bot and alt mode. Well done. Now that the box art has been covered, let's bring him out. Scrapper shipped in a sturdy closed box with a plastic window, which made a lot of people happy. Can someone explain that to me? Everything's wired tighter than Teletran 1's firewall. A cool blue backdrop with no movie scene like before. A pouch made of tissue paper and is black and white with a hint of purple instruction manual showing all 17 transformation steps. And 8 ties holding him snug. Snip carefully, those lime green threads scratch easily. I personally prefer slipping them out in the case I want to put them back in the box, but even with the ties out, you can see it takes a little strength to remove him. There you go. Let's remove the pouch. Accessories are straight to the point. 2-piece cannon slots together to form Devastator's Honky Blaster, and G1 style hand blaster for Scrapper himself. Cartoon accurate and nothing else. And here's a shout out to the man who made Scrapper sound like the snarkiest engineer in Decepticon history, Michael Bell. If his voice tickles your nostalgia circuits, that's because he was your childhood. Just look at his credits for G.I. Joe alone. Tell me you don't recognize those characters. You have Smurfs, Rugrats, Snorks, obviously the Transformers, which we'll come back to later, Scooby-Doo, Aladdin. This list is so long and extensive that I have to blow through it and hope it sparks an interest for you to look him up yourself. Have you seen any of your favorite cartoons yet? You probably have. Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, Spider-Man the Animated Series, and Gargoyles are some of the last cartoons I watched. And I may get some heat for this, but I did enjoy GoBots. He's voiced all sorts of characters. It didn't matter whether they were minor, major, comic, or game, superheroes, and or villains. Have you recognized a character and didn't realize Mr. Bell voiced him? Thinking back now, you're like, oh yeah, I can hear the resemblance. An example for me is with Lance and Sven from Voltron, which will come up later. This list goes in alphabetical order by show title, but Mr. Bell's credits bulldoze right through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s. Here are his credits again for the Transformers, and you see he voiced Scrapper and Bone Crusher for the G1 cartoon. Is it a coincidence that they were released together? Let's get back to the action figure. Check him out. I really like how cartoon accurate he looks from an initial look. And he looks kind of buff, or is it just me? Right out of the tray you have to reposition his scoop or bucket to get the proper look in robot mode that I just showed. As I do this, he feels dense, very solid, with no loose parts on his arms or legs. Bringing him closer, there are some visible screws, but again, the overall cartoon accuracy with the strong purple, his chest piece with the Decepticon insignia is just awesome. Spin him around and he still looks good. I know he's got these cavities, but there is a kit coming out to fill those in. Manipulating him, it seems you have plenty of clearance so parts don't clash. He's very quiet, no clicking, but every move screams built for posing, no tiptoe on the shelf and pray. Starting from the top, his head can spin like an owl and slightly up and down. His shoulders allows for a full range of motions, up, down, laterally, and much more. Elbow flexes to show off the guns, biceps, even a little wrist action, but that's courtesy of the transformation. And as you can see, his hands don't articulate whatsoever. So upper body overall, I think is designed very well. Moving down, no hip movement, so no salsa dancing for him. His legs though are just as good as his arms, with his legs able to swing back and forth and have him simply sit legs out, which looks silly. Deep knee bend? Yes sir. Ankle rockers? Yup, check it out. So let's look at a 17-step transformation. Step 1 to 2, pull down his chest piece and tuck in his head. Step 3 to 4, close the chest piece and tuck in his hands. Step 5 and 6, bend the elbows unnaturally backwards and make sure to snap the peg into this hole. Turn Scrapper around as per step 7 and pop his shoulders in place. Step 8, snap his legs together using his wheels and make sure the legs stay aligned as the snapping mechanism is a little different. Lay Scrapper down and bring the bucket over and note that the little clip, move it back. These are steps 9 through 12. Swivel the operator's cab for step 13. Steps 14 through 17 is manipulating Scrapper's legs by flipping his calves in. They should move together. Flip the ankles from there. Then turn Scrapper over again and tuck what would be his shins underneath, making sure everything snaps into place. Finally, for Scrapper's attack mode, you can take Devastator's blasters and separate it in two and place them in specific slots, with Scrapper's blaster connecting to the side of the bigger half of Devastator's blaster. There you have him in his alt mode, looking very similar to the original action figure, but obviously so much better as you can see more details like the chrome rim caps, the ladder that goes up the operator's cab, which itself looks more like an operator's cab as opposed to a canopy. On the shelf, he pops harder than a Cremsey in a power station. Only thing, one rear wheel sits half a millimeter high, so he doesn't roll well, but likes to drift like he's driving on Icon ice. Not a deal breaker, just a reminder QC isn't fully Cybertronian yet. Let me quickly transform him back and get him into bomb mode. Notice how I'm struggling, showing that Scrapper holds together very well as a front end loader. I can see why some people use a tool to separate pieces easier. Here's a close-up of Scrapper again, and he's just looking amazing. Hasbro really did a great job with him, and I've only seen other versions of him online, so maybe I'm not the best person to say this, but I really think he's by far the best looking one. He's a posing playground, over-the-shoulder cannon, guns ablaze, on one knee action, or just standing on his own. Here he is in attack alt mode. And finally, as just a front end loader. Before closing the vault, here he is with his 80s G1 counterpart in bomb mode that shows how far action figure designs have come. Summarizing what we've seen, new packaging design with artwork by Yellowfly, well done. Well packaged, he's snug as a bug in a rug. Voiceover actor spotlight, Michael Bell, amazing. Overall, great first impressions with one or two snags. Great articulation, missing his hip swivel, and pretty straightforward to transform. 5 more Constructicons to go. Piecing him together too? Drop your progress in the comments. Thank you for watching CyberVault 86. Be bold and transformed. Onesimus Prime signing off.